how to choose the best paper for your art prints. So my last video was how to choose the best printer to make art prints at home, and now we're talking about paper. So I've been making art prints for over 9 years. So here are some tips and considerations I want to share with other artists and photographers to make this an easier process for you. Watch the printer video after this if you haven't already, the link is above. So the very first thing to decide is what kind of finish do you want your prints to have. The finish has the most overall impact on the look and feel of your print. There's 4 main options: matte, glossy, satin, sometimes called semi-gloss or luster, and metallic. Here are some pros and cons for each. Matte paper is non-reflective, which is great for avoiding glares, and fingerprints and smudges don't show up on them, which makes the prints easier to handle. And matte paper does a great job of showing the more intricate details in your art or illustration. However, since it is a flat finish, your colors won't appear as vibrant or with as much contrast as they would on glossy paper. Next, glossy paper, which is shiny and reflective. This enhances the color saturation of your prints, making your colors appear more vibrant and bold off the page. Glossy prints also provide an amazing amount of depth and contrast in your prints, especially if you have deep, dark black hues. This is why glossy prints are the top finish for photography prints, because that enhanced contrast in your shadows and light really make the prints dynamic. However, the glare from glossy prints drive me crazy and make it more obvious that it is a print of a work of art and not the original work of art. So if you're making a print of a drawing or painting, matte paper would be closer to the original work of art than glossy paper. Also, glossy paper shows like fingerprints and smudges very easily. Then you have satin or semi-gloss paper, also referred to as luster paper. Satin paper provides a nice balance between the two and an appealing soft finish. Satin or semi-gloss paper has a slight sheen with less glare and less prone to fingerprints and smudges showing up. And there are different levels of semi-gloss papers, some weighted more towards glossy, some weighted more towards matte. The downside of satin or semi-gloss paper is that you don't get the extreme benefits of either side, but you don't get the extreme cons either. Then you have a specialty paper like metallic, which might be cool for a special limited edition print, but nothing you would use for your normal art print. Also, that specialty paper will cost you more. Picking your finish is honestly all a matter of personal preference and how you want your art prints to appear. And I highly recommend doing testing and samples to make this decision. After you decide your finish, you move on to item number 2, which is your print's texture. And this decision may be made for you depending on your option number 1. If your finish is glossy or semi-gloss, your texture is most likely going to be smooth, although there are some satin papers that have like a very slightly textured finish. But mostly, if your finish is matte, you have to decide if you want a smooth matte paper or a textured matte paper. Smooth paper captures the sharpness of the details a bit better, but textured paper adds a bit more character and makes it more closely resemble the original. So if you're making an art print from an original that was from a watercolor paper or canvas painting, it can be cool to choose a paper that has a texture similar to that watercolor paper or canvas. Then if you decide to go with textured paper, you have to decide on what level of texture you want. Some textures are more slight and subtle, and some are more pronounced. Next item, number 3, is the size you want for your paper or prints. This may help you narrow your search down a bit. If you know you want a matte paper, slightly textured, that is letter size 8.5 by 11 or square 12 by 12 inches, you know to search for paper that has those qualifications. Of course, you can cut your paper or prints to make them the size that you want them to be, but keep in mind that is more tedious and time consuming. Also, you need to know the maximum printing width of your printer to know how large you're capable of making your prints. And if you're using a large format printer that has a roll attachment, of course you need to be looking at rolls and not sheets. The rolls cost more but last far longer and can get up to some pretty huge sizes. Canon's biggest large format printer can print up to 60 inches wide and the rolls are at least 50 feet. And then item number 4 is not talked about enough, but it is so important and one of the main things you need to consider: the weight and thickness of your paper. So paper weight is measured in GSM or grams per square meter, or is measured in pounds. The weight of your paper determines how sturdy or durable your print is, and that is a huge contributing factor in the level of quality your prints have. For example, if you print your beautiful work of art on copy paper, which is 20 pounds or 70 to 100 GSM, you will be left with a very cheap feeling print, if you could even call it that. So the standard GSM for a high quality art print is no less than 150 GSM, but personally I choose art paper that has a much higher weight than that. But keep in mind, the higher the paper weight, the higher the quality and the cost. Side note, make sure you check the specifications on your printer to see the max paper thickness that your printer can handle. If you choose a paper that is thicker than your printer's capabilities, you'll be dealing with a bunch of paper jams and printing issues. And side note, if you think any of this information is helpful so far, please like and subscribe. Here are some examples of different papers with different paper weights. Number 5, one of the biggest factors in this decision is the cost. To determine your profit per print, you'll need to calculate the cost per sheet of paper and subtract that from your print sale. And of course, there are other expenses associated with making art prints that need to be subtracted, like the cost of ink and shipping to get your final profit margin, but that is a video for another day. Comment the word bookkeeping if you want me to make a video on handling finances for your art business. But back to paper. To get your cost per sheet, divide the cost of the pack of paper by the number of sheets included. Pro tip, be sure to include taxes and your cost of shipping the paper into your cost. And another pro tip, buying papers in bulk can oftentimes decrease your unit cost per sheet. Again, the higher the quality of paper, the higher the cost. So you have to establish your budget and desired profit margin in order to determine how much you want to spend on each print. Number 6, color tone and brightness. Color tones on your paper are like light bulbs. They could be warm, cool, white, or neutral. And just like how significant the color of your light is in your home, it is significant the color of your paper. That has an effect on the way that the colors appear on the paper and the overall vibe that your art prints give. For example, warm paper gives a more vintage feel and cool paper may match your brand aesthetic. But if neither of those are the case, or that's not the brand aesthetic that you're going for, then I would suggest just using a mostly neutral or white paper, because this makes your print colors appear most closely on paper as they do on the screen. Lastly, the brand reputation and reviews. Some brands are more respected and more popular in the art world, so you know you're probably not going to go too wrong with them. Some of the most popular art paper brands include CANON and EPSON, of course, the German brand HAHNEMÜHLE, MOAB, Strathmore, Red River paper, and there's a ton more. To save yourself some money on testing different papers, I bought a bunch of different sample packages of paper. So I'm going to go through these and pick which one I like, see how they all print, see the quality on each one. So I know it's going to be a lot of ink that I'm about to use because obviously, like I showed you all the papers, there's a bunch of different types of papers that I'm about to be trying out. But you know, you gotta invest in your craft, you gotta invest in your product, you know, invest in your business, you know what I'm saying, invest in your business, you know what I'm saying, invest in yourself. Okay. So I would just do a ton of research on that brand and that paper to see what other people think of it and to see how their prints turned out. And if you made it this far, I'm gonna give you an extra tip I've learned from personal experience. Rely on the paper's normal cost when making this decision. If you get a paper just because it's on an amazing sale, but you know once the sale goes away, you would not buy this paper again at its normal price, do not buy that paper. That just means that your customers will receive a high quality art print for a short amount of time, and then once you run out and they order from you again, they're gonna be receiving a completely different product and will probably feel less satisfied with it because you weren't trying to pay for that high quality expensive paper when it was no longer on sale. You wanna be consistent with your prints in your business, so choose a paper that, sale or not, you know down the road you'll still choose it again. So the way I made this decision for myself was by buying a bunch of different types of paper and a bunch of different samples of paper, and then making a crazy, like insane cost evaluation spreadsheet with the cost associated with each type of paper, the cost per sheet of paper, and the associated taxes and shipping, making over 24 prints of the same picture on different types of paper, and doing an unbiased blind evaluation and selection of the art prints that I most liked. If you want to see that process, including the exact brands, papers, suppliers, and spreadsheets I use, comment ASUN below. And comment any questions and additional information you have below, and tell me about your paper process for your art prints. Say that 3 times fast. Don't forget to subscribe and watch the printer video linked in the description of this video below. I'm going to be doing a whole series on how I make art prints at home. So fun fact, I just bought a $6,000 wide format printer. I felt like I was about to start whispering. I bought a $6,000 wide format printer, and it's going to be delivering in the next few weeks. So be sure to subscribe so you can follow along the process of me making prints with a commercial printer from my home. Have a blessed day. Now go create something.